Well, hello there. Myself and Michael are going to play a game of Trikrotos. I think that's how you pronounce it, Trikrotos. It is a trireme naval boat game. It involves some different phases throughout. We're putting out order cards, we're measuring out who's attacking who, and then we're executing those orders in a bloody, epic and violent game of 2mm combat. So Michael's got the black boats, I've got the red boats. And basically, kind of like lawn bowls, we're just trying to be the closest to this rock here, the Rock of Hercules. But I'll show you the setup for the game later. In case you're curious, little boats themselves come from Lasercast Studios, not a paid plug, and Trikrotos is on wargamevault.com. So let's have a look at the playing board and let's see how this all goes. So this is the battlefield. The Rock of Hercules in the middle, that's our goal, and Michael over here to the west with his black ships, and myself over to the east with the red ships. Sorry about the slight blur there. We're both coming down the peninsula, aiming to be the closest to that rock to take it, and if we can, we'll receive bonus points at the end of this match. We'll lose points, basically, and whoever has the most points at the end is indeed the winner. Now, the first couple of rounds were pretty uneventful. We didn't even bother with turn order initially, because we both just basically had to approach as quick as we can. But the effect it had on our command decks was it was draining our choices. For myself, a lot of face cards came out, which meant that later on in the battle, I would not be able to use those face cards as close combat or ranged combat cards. But anyway, eventually we made our way closer and closer to the rock, all having to sort of veer and jockey depending on what cards we drew in the command phase. And finally it was Michael's light vessels and one of my heavy vessels that got in close first. And at that point, we began to pay attention to turn order. Turn order is determined by the value of the face cards that are played. The lower the value is the ship that goes first. The higher the value, you can wait off and go later. The later ships, if they are able to cross over these little strips, will ram the other vessel, basically intercept them before they can finish their plotted journey. Well, the heavy vessel on the red side managed to get to the rock first, dinging its little nose, while the rest of the fleet was sort of scattered and spread out. But Michael wasn't in much better state, to be perfectly honest. This guy is very close to that rock, though. Guys,
He'll have to turn.
I got to the rock. What do I do now?
He's gonna get his points. You're just aiming for those double points.
In round 4, we take our 5 drawn cards, our 5 choices, and allocate them to each ship, determining whether they turn left or right, or go straight ahead and pivot. Now, the command vessel here is able to, on its turn, swap cards with another vessel on its own fleet, which is what I chose to do here. I wanted to be able to try and shoot at one of Michael's ships, causing it to go straight ahead. It has to go straight ahead, no choice, which hopefully meant I could line up another ship to crash into it. Didn't quite capitalize, but I gave it a go. With all our vessels now jockeying around the Rock of Hercules, turn order would now really matter. Now that we're so close, it means that undoubtedly crashes and ramming will take place, and maybe even close combat. We managed to have a lot of face cards come out at this point, but really the bigger hit points against your opponent will come through ramming. I was able to line up my light red vessel against his command ship, but his heavy would be coming in to attack mine. This is going to be a smack.
Yep.
Alright.
And then this one, this one's next.
Yes.
And so they're going to take a shot at this one.
Fair enough.
To cancel their attempted
Yep.
hit. So, so they just,
So
go
this
straight.
now goes straight.
Shame they can't run into their own boats.
Gently lift you out.
Because that would be a bit,
For you. That's doing
yeah.
So in spite of my best efforts, Michael's heavy vessel would be the only ship doing damage this round, and it would do some damage. Round 5, and myself and Michael would need to wrangle in our vessels that were careening away from combat in order to bring them to full effectiveness. But as you can see, effectiveness would not be a problem for Michael. He would be able to line up his vessels well and truly against half of my fleet. Both my heavy and my light would be victims of his vicious, vicious attacks. Oh, drats! Oh no! He's in trouble. This guy's in serious. He's gone. He's going to be sunk.
Well, you have
Jack.
Mm-hmm.
What's Jack doing?
I mean, slightly too, it's slightly to the right, so it's going slightly this way.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Okay. So, what I'm now going to do with my queen, is I am going to board your ship.
Board.
That's it.
Excellent.
Boarding action. Mainly because that now means he's not going to take his hit.
And what happens to a ram when I'm bored?
I haven't thought of that yet. I'm going to say I will just take the hit. I will just take the hit.
That's it, my ship is on the side that's more likely to get hit.
So yes, that card is now out of here. Oh, you hit me hard. What's that?
It's only a light, so it's just 2.
It's just 2 still. So this is now down to 2. Smack. That's quite hurt.
And this one goes. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
so these
so-
come alongside each other, I suppose. So do we want to do that first or after?
No, do the ram. I think that's probably the way to go.
Crunch, and that would be. Oh, sorry, he was a light, and it was.
Oh, yeah, so he was about here, wasn't he? So if he's about here, that would have been a 2. So this battle actually could just kill me. Michael draws his ship next to me, and we both roll d6s. If you manage to double the opponent's score, then they lose a hit point.
I just need to.
Oh no, and I won, which means this battle continues,
So you get a second dice.
and I'll get a second dice. Hooray for me. In round 7, with 2 of our vessels locked down in combat, the rest of the ships would also be joining the fray in various ways, with a few luckily placed face cards at the right time. There would be a collision, but this would be a sideline act to what was going on elsewhere in the battle. So now the face cards come into play with our light vessels off in the distance, scrapping for supremacy. 3. Oh no.
So I've got to get 6.
If you get a 6, yeah, you take a hit. I take a hit. Oh, you take a hit! Ah! So you just take 1, so you're now down to 3.
And that combat's over.
And that combat is over, completely over.
Yeah.
It won't continue. That's that. Alright, now this Jack goes. So it's again head to head. Ooh, this is where it goes badly.
Oh, come on. Look at this dude's dice are not that bad. 5 times. Is that like 5 wounds? Or
Yes, he's down regardless. Into the briny deep, and you've got your 2 ships closest now.
Woohoo.
So he's just going to be floating jets, and you've got to try to avoid.
Oh, so I've got to avoid it.
Don't have to. All we're going to do is just get some of this and that sticks. So in round 8, Michael's able to get first blood, but blood would be in the water and his sharks would begin to circle. Again, vessels would be lining up for more ramming actions against stationary vessels, but it would indeed be my Reds who would suffer for it.
Because he's going left
To him?
Him.
Okay. So at this stage, that's doing that. That would be, could you, like setting aside all the horror and destruction, could you imagine these 2 big, bodies going boom, square at the same time? Alright.
Speeding up into the 2 fighting ships.
Yeah. Having said that, I don't want that to happen. So.
And so he's going slightly left.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
he's to him as well.
Okay, so now that means this is no longer crashing. Instead, this is crashing.
Oh shoot, he's crashing into that one.
Yeah, so you're
I'm actually protecting my boat.
correct.
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally, but that's what you're about to do. 45 degrees, eh? So that's 45 degrees, isn't it? I would love it to be that. That's a great 45 degree right there.
but I think that's probably more like 50. So we will do just that. So he is going to be able to get out of there. I think
he doesn't get it.
I think so. Because I've always kept it just along the strip. In theory, intercepts happen along the strip, not necessarily straight into the ship. The idea being that that's going to do.
Could have done bigger angle. Oh, maybe.
No, he could. If you could do a bigger angle, I could do a bigger angle.
Way bigger angle.
So I think I managed to clear out. I think. What do you think? This is called rule arguing, and that's fine. I'm always a fan of rule arguing. What do you think?
I mean, they're moving simultaneously, so
I think it makes sense. But again, I know I'm biased. I think it makes sense. I do.
That's good. I'm getting one hit in on me.
You are. Okay.
And then this one's the last one.
So this doesn't
and
do it.
he turns around.
Comes to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I've lined him up. I'm going to take out this light guy. We've got it, boys. We've done it for our country. We've done it for our queen. And then just before it happens, smack. Oh, gee.
He had 2 health, so he's
How much damage am I taking?
2.
Oh, down. Down he goes. Smack. Oh my gosh. Just getting creamed.
To be fair, had you hit this one, you would have sunk it.
That's it. So it was a close run thing right there.
Yeah.
Round 9 and very few face cards, so it's all about maneuvering. And we are watching those command decks. When they run out, the game is indeed over. Michael had hoped to move his command vessel out to engage more effectively. However, he couldn't quite get the angle right, and I managed to get a sneaky little tap in with my light vessel. That would not be the last of Michael's blunders. With a card that he had played on a vessel that he thought was going in the wrong direction, he actually then had to basically flip over in his mind his plans and send one of his vessels careening off into nowhere, allowing for my command vessel to line up and execute absolute maximum damage to his ship.
And indeed, this guy does a Lancelot. He just shuffles a little bit forward and just smack
To our ship graveyard.
into our ship graveyard. You're not wrong.
Round 10, and it seemed that my card deck was emptying out faster than Michael's, him holding back with his face cards ready to inflict more combat damage to me than I had hoped. So, combat would be adjoined once again, with dice rolls deciding which ship would live and which would fall.
Alright, here we go.
Oh,
Yes! Yes!
alas. My
Smack!
beautiful command ship.
Scratched your paint.
I know.
Scratched your paint and poked some of your rowers in the eye.
Second thoughts, this dice is getting vanished.
Right, here we go. Oh, I'm gonna say that's a 6. I'm gonna say that's a 6. It landed on top of that. No! Okay, so smack, and that combat is finished as well. Ouch. Okay.
And so we come to the second last round of the game, myself only having 2 other cards to play in the next round. And at this point, I think it dawned on me and Michael that the way to get those bonus points is to be the closest to the Rock of Hercules. If you can be closest and have a second ship close, you will get bonus points.
Oh, you're doing it too! We're all doing it! We're all doing the same thing! Okay, that's fine. So your command ship goes first, and he faces, I'm assuming, towards the rock.
Yeah.
My dude goes next, he's also turning to the rock. They're all just pivoting, beelining to the rock. Hold on, I've got to do this right. Hold on, to check these ones. Yeah, so I've got to make sure I do this correctly.
Oh
So-
shoot, I didn't even think about that.
Pivoting to this
Yeah.
point.
So he's gonna go all the way up to here.
Yeah, he's gonna go there. But I mean, that's gonna be really important for the next round. Where we're all going.
The final round, and the cards will play and fall as they may. all vessels trying to be the closest to the rock and undoubtedly crashing and blocking each other as they go. Your 6 goes first.
Alright, so he's going slightly left. Yeah.
Sorry.
So he's probably just going to have to go as left as he can so you can't run into me sort of left.
We said 45 degrees there, didn't we?
Yeah, so it's kind of 45.
That's that kind of 45.
That is kind of 45.
That's a long way out of 45. Let's get a little die.
This is 90.
And that's 40.
This is 45 here.
I'll give it to you, but only just.
That's all good. I wanted to run into this dude.
Okay.
But,
I just
not
pipped
going to
you.
happen now.
I just pipped you.
Now you're going to hit me.
Yes, I am. I'm going to hit you as hard as I can. Having said that, you would then be closer to the rock.
Yes.
Oh.
I get the value of my ship, I suppose.
You would. You would, wouldn't you? So that's a 4 ship.
Mm-hmm.
If I crash into you, I'm only going to take 2 off of you. So logically, I have to crash into you. There's no way I cannot crash into you. Oh, you have successfully blocked me. Oh no!
Accidentally.
Accidentally successfully blocked me. Oh no. Okay, so because again, I can't pivot in any other way. That's within 45 degrees, isn't it? According to you, it is.
Wow. Do I need to get out my protractor?
I think you're right. No.
Pretty sure I've got a protractor around here.
Because what I could do, because remember we said if the ship has moved out of that position, it doesn't hit.
I think that's 45 degrees.
Well, no, the reason why it's important is because if that's 45 degrees, I can do a similar move.
Have you got a bit of paper? Because we can do 45 degrees that way.
So I can then do a similar move, dodge you because you'll move out of the way.
So a piece of paper you don't mind being. There we go. So that's a 45 degree angle there.
That's a 45 degree angle there. So first, I'm actually now willing to say yes, that is okay, because if I can do that,
yeah,
then it means I can then careen. I can go past you because you'll no longer be occupying that space, and continue to crash into this ship, and be closer to the rock than that ship. Can you see what I'm saying there?
So now I'm not sure it's 45 degrees.
Correct. So let's have a look at what the biblical text says. No, it's not 45 degrees.
Oh, it's more than 45
It's
degrees.
definitely more than 45 degrees.
Okay.
So that means
I stand corrected.
you'll go into that rock.
Yeah.
Now let's see if actually I can, basically into this little flat bit if you want the full angle. Now let's see if this is 45 degrees.
Yeah.
So, no, I will crash right into the front of you if I do that. Oh, darn it. So I can't do that. But what I will do then, if you're going to block me successfully, which you have, I'm going to make sure you pay for every ounce of that. So
well, you've still technically got to go left.
I do have to go left, don't I? Oh. So I'm going to get like a 2 out of this.
2 is still a significant jump.
Fine, I'll get a 2 out of this. I'll get a 2 out of this. Let's see what is that's so depressing. That's so depressing. I'm going to smack into you, and you can smugly sit there going, that hurt. Oh no. Oh, look at this. I'm closer to the rock.
To be fair. And also, I have the closest to. Maybe.
Unless I can now. So that's that boat.
Yeah.
Now he goes. This is mine, isn't it? Yeah, that's mine. If I can pivot closer than all of his.
Well, mine's going to run directly into the rock. So.
Correct.
What's the difference if we're both directly going into the rock?
It's a draw, and we won't count the points. So.
In which case, gliding into me here is good because you subtract points from it.
Because you're doing this, right? So you've got to get the geometry right on this. Okay, so you're doing that. Yes, this thing.
Very precise.
It's got to be precise at this point. Okay, so from the beak, I am just going to run parallel to you.
Yeah.
That's just all. That's what will happen. So pretty much, yes, I'll run parallel to you, and we'll draw this thing basically.
I can duke it out on the beach.
You can juke it out of the beach, correct.
That's kind of funny because none of us have any picture cards at the end. Have we
No.
got picture cards?
Oh, absolutely. Everything would be way different, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just for the fun and excitement again, wacky races.
Runs into.
He goes smack and takes 2 off of you. So he's down to 1.
Oh.
And so it all comes down to a race to the finish. Look, the move was determined, but the imagination is ready to go as our 2 vessels, like an Olympic sprint, row towards that rock. Both vessels tinking their little beaks up against the rock, meaning that neither of our fleets would get the bonus points.
So 9 versus 10.
That's it. Oh, you're kidding! 9 versus 10! 9 versus 10!
Close game.
Oh, well, that means, hold on, I'm going to do it on the camera. That's a handshake.
Good
game. Oh my goodness, so you won. You won by 1 point. and a neck and neck race to the finish line. Oh, there you go. Oh, well done. Cool.
So there you have it. Michael managed to get away just by like 1 point. I couldn't believe that. Anyway, so yes, he won in a epic race to the finish. Pretty happy with how the game played out. We did get 1 or 2 rules not quite right. For example, when we were attacking one another in boarding actions, the attacker was supposed to get an additional 1 roll, but it didn't affect the game too much, I don't think. But yes, we had a lot of fun, so I hope you enjoyed that, and you will see me again later. Goodbye.